What does the Bible say about hurricanes, tornadoes, and other natural disasters? Does the Bible give an answer to why the world is in such a mess if God is really in control? How could a God of love let masses of people die from killer hurricanes, catastrophic earthquakes, tsunamis, terrorist attacks, and disease? Why such bizarre carnage and chaos? Is the world coming to an end? Is God pouring out His wrath upon sinners? Why is it so often the bloated bodies of the poor, the elderly, and the children that are strewn among the rubble? These are the questions most people are begging to be answered. Is God responsible for natural disasters? Although God is often viewed as the one causing these terrible catastrophes, He is not responsible. God is not in the business of causing natural disasters and calamities. On the contrary, He is the giver of life. The Bible says, "For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished." Isaiah 51:6. This text declares a dramatic difference between natural calamities and the work of God. When God came to the earth in the form of man, He did nothing to hurt people, only to help them. Jesus said, "For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them." Luke 9:56. He said, "Many good works have I shown you from my Father. For which of these works do ye stone me?" John 10:32. He also says, "It is not the will of your Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish." Matthew 18:14. It was God's design that His sons and daughters should forever smell the fragrance of exotic flowers, not rotting corpses. They should always enjoy the delicacies of tropical fruit and tasty dishes, not face hunger and starvation. He is the one who provides the fresh air from a mountain top and cool sparkling water, not ugly pollution. Why does nature seem to be becoming more and more destructive? When Adam and Eve sinned, it brought a natural consequence to the earth. "And unto Adam He, God, said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life." Genesis 3:17. The descendants of Adam became so violent and corrupt that God allowed the world to be destroyed by a global flood. Genesis 6:5-11. The fountains of the deep were broken up. Genesis 7:11. There was great volcanic activity. The layers of the earth's crust were formed, and nature was turned out of its God-given course. The stage was set for earthquakes and killer storms. As the consequences of sin have progressed from that day to this, the natural world is nearing its end. The results of our first parents' disobedience is becoming more and more evident as this world is wearing out. But God is still in the business of rescuing, helping, and healing. He holds out salvation and everlasting life to all who will receive Him. If God does not bring natural disasters, who does? Many people do not believe in a real devil, but the Bible is very clear on this point. Satan exists, and he is the destroyer. Jesus said, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Luke 10:18. Satan was once a holy angel at the right hand of God in heaven. Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28. He rebelled against God and was cast out of heaven. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Revelation 12:9. Jesus said, "The devil was a murderer from the beginning, and the father of lies." John 8:44. The Bible says that the devil attempts to deceive the whole world, and one way he tries to do this is by spreading the idea that there is no real devil. The existence of a real devil is the only thing that can explain the existence of evil in a world that is predominantly good. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. Revelation 12:12. The Old Testament story of Job is a classic example of how God sometimes allows Satan to bring calamities. Job lost his cattle, his crops, and his family to vicious attacks, a killer hurricane, and firestorm. Job's friends said these disasters came from God, but a careful reading of the book of Job reveals that it was Satan who brought these evils. See Job 1:1-12. Why does God give Satan permission to destroy? Satan deceived Eve, and through her, he led Adam to sin. Because he had tempted the first humans, the head of the human race, into sin, Satan claimed that they had chosen him as the God of this world. Read 2 Corinthians 4:4. He claims to be the rightful ruler of this world. Read Matthew 4:8-9. Through the ages, Satan has been fighting against God, trying to establish his claim to this world. He points to all those who have chosen to follow him as proof that he is the rightful ruler of this world. The Bible says, "Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves slaves to obey, you are that one slave whom you obey, whether of sin leading to death or of obedience leading to righteousness?" Romans 6:16. God has given his 10 commandments as eternal rules for living, for determining what is right and wrong. He offers to write these laws in our hearts and minds. Many, however, choose to neglect his offer of a new life and choose to live outside of God's will. By so doing, they support Satan's claim against God. The Bible says that this situation will only get worse as time goes on. In the last days, evil men and impostors will grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. 2 Timothy 3:13. As men and women remove themselves from God's protection, they are subject to Satan's destroying hatred. God is love, and his character is perfectly unselfish and just. Therefore, his own character prevents him from doing anything that is unfair. He will not interfere with man's free choice. Those who choose to follow Satan are free to do so, and God will allow Satan to demonstrate to the universe what the consequences of sin really are. In the calamities and disasters that befall the earth and destroy lives, we can see what sin is like, what life is like when Satan has his own way. A rebellious teen may choose to leave home because he finds the rules too restricting. He may find a cruel world waiting to teach him the harsh realities of life. But the parents do not stop loving their rebellious son or daughter. They do not want them to be hurt, but they can do little to prevent it if the child is determined to go their own way. The parents hope and pray that the difficult realities of the world will bring their child home, much like the prodigal son in the Bible. Read Luke 15:18. Speaking of those who choose to follow Satan, God says, "I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured. And many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, Have not these devils come upon us because our God is not among us? Deuteronomy 31:17. This is the message that we may learn from calamities and natural disasters. They can lead us to seek the Lord.